It's Time Warner Cable's Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. I'm glad you're with us. Our guest is Joe Lyons. He's a member of the Claremont City Council. And as you know, sir, this summer has been very difficult as it relates to water and water access. We have seen the worst drought throughout the nation since 1956. I'm wondering, how does the national drought impact municipalities or the state of California?
I think we're fortunate in Claremont to at least have a water table that contains enough water that we might be able to consider being independent someday.
And we'll talk about that.
But I think that imported water does become a major issue because we are supplemented by the various sources that are available to California and Southern California.
And let's talk about imported water, because over the last few years there had been a move to put a measure on the ballot, a bond measure, which would raise funds for the entire state of California to improve water access, about $11 billion. It was going to be on the 2010 ballot. It was pushed by the legislature. It was going to be on the 2012 ballot. It was pushed by the legislature. Does that impact cities like Claremont or other cities that struggle mightily with access to water?
I think that certainly the cost of imported water becomes an issue, so that portion that supplements our groundwater is more expensive. I think on the more global issue, though, what really is threatening to water availability in general is that as long as this is postponed, there is an inevitable catastrophe that could occur that would really make availability of water.
I mean, as we speak today, the Gulf Coast is recovering from Hurricane Isaac. We know what happened with Hurricane Katrina. And as you also know, we've had this flurry of small earthquakes in California towards the end of August. I'm not an alarmist, but you speak the truth. If there's a catastrophe in Northern California around the Delta, 25 million Californians, that's most of California, will be severely impacted.
Yes.
So let's talk about the Delta, though. Governor Brown has floated a plan to try to create, dare I say, a peripheral canal. I mean, again, these are fighting words, but what's your sense on that?
Well, I think having lived in California as long as I have, that the peripheral canal has been on the books certainly since the 80s, has been the political football that it remains to this very day, and nothing in the end has been done to assure the safety and availability of that water.
So you mentioned that Claremont is looking at potentially acquiring, is it back your water district? Is that the right way to say it?
Yes. We're not actually buying back. The ownership was transferred to Golden State Water's predecessor by the original landowners that settled in the area. We had better relationships with previous purveyors, and the current rate structure that exists is making sustainability in the area of affordability and our long-term water needs impossible.
It's interesting because in some cities, not in the San Gabriel Valley, but I believe in South Los Angeles or Southeast Los Angeles, a lot of water wars going on between various districts. Are you in the midst of a water war?
No, I think that the war would be between our city residents, the ratepayers, and the current purveyor, which is Golden State
So
Water.
I know you're in negotiations. You can't really reveal the results of that or the intricacies of that, but what does it mean, presuming it happens?
What it would happen would be that if it is ultimately purchased by us, that we would manage the water system as it is done currently by Golden State Water. We as a municipality would have complete control over the rate and the rate structure.
Similar to the Los Angeles DWP, Department of Water and Power.
Exactly, except in our city.
Of course. His name is Joe Lyons. He is a member of the Claremont City Council. My name is Brad Pomerance. I thank you so very much for watching Time Warner Cable's Local Edition.